Tuesday, October the 29th. It's coming around quick, I think. Bit of a chill in the air this week.
Chill in the air and dark nights.
You know, it's the wind and the rain I kind of bad. I love the especially European nights or like night games that, you know, when you get up, there's a little bit of frost in the air.
Yeah. Big coat on, hat and gloves and all that.
Still in shorts though, some of us.
Yeah, rolling
in that. Yeah, so welcome. This is today's Talking Reds. Loads going on in the build-up to tomorrow's League Cup game against Arsenal at Anfield. Been talking about lineups all week and who might feature, who might not. And there's been chat around whether Matip will come back and be eased back in, and it seems to be dealt a blow a little bit with news that his niggling the injury is a little bit more niggling than first anticipated.
Bad news Lynchy.
Bad news Lynchy.
Well, to be fair, with Matip, I wouldn't say he's injury prone, but when he does get injured, he tends to take a little bit longer than is generally first thought. Now, listen, that's not a criticism. Sometimes injury just is what it is, isn't it? But it's come at a really bad time. But obviously, he's hit such a good vein of form, and obviously in the past I've been critical of him, but there's no way anybody could be logically critical of him the way he's performed so far this season. I think it's fair to say everybody thought it was going to be Joe Gomez and Van Dijk to be the go-to team this year, or the go-to partnership, and Matip was absolutely just ripped up the script on that, and he's played absolutely brilliantly. He's handled everything that's been thrown at him, and we're in a strange situation now, aren't we, whereby he's missing for 6 weeks, and you're not really sure whether it is going to be Gomez or whether Dexy Lovren's made the shirt his own.
Well, I mean, the Echo have said this morning that it shouldn't be 6 weeks, but they can't put a determinate date on it, which probably means six weeks. But you touched on it there, Matip cemented himself in there as Virgil van Dijk's preferred partner. Whereas you said last year, the suggestion of it, you know, you draw a bit of amusement because Joe Gomez was playing so well, but at the same time as well, is there an element that we always try and unpick and think of worst case scenarios? So for instance, with that, we missed Alisson for 6-7 weeks, and then Adrian's come in, performed well, and you get a sense this togetherness we've talked about before, it should hopefully see them through.
Yeah, I think you look at Lovren, he come in and I'd say he was shaky, would probably be a kind of way to describe him against MK Dons. But since then in the league, he's been absolutely fine. He's had a couple of moments, but the type of things you can jump on and say, oh, well, look, he's done this and he's done that. But the problem is, don't play football for 6 months. You're going to be a bit rusty, aren't you? Do you know what I mean? Like, he made a daft mistake last week against in the European Cup. My mind's gone blank. Who did we play? Genk in the European Cup.
Those fellas.
He made a daft mistake there, didn't he? And I think a bit of everybody was a bit like, it's a very Dejan.
Not again.
It's a very Dejan Lovren mistake to make, isn't it? It's the fact that he should have just dealt with it, blah, blah, blah. But still, that's going to happen.
But there's confirmation bias there, though, because if Joe Gomez makes that mistake or Van Dijk makes that, it's just, well.
Well, Van Dijk made a very similar mistake against Man City, didn't he? Remember when we beat them 2-1 in the European Cup a couple of years ago?
First couple of minutes he got done.
Exactly. So, it's one of them things. If we could pick, you'd obviously have Matip in there, but I think if Lovren gets a run of games, then he'll do okay.
You put Lovren in at the Gomez,
No, personally I wouldn't, but just because he's got the shirt at the moment and Klopp seen, because at the weekend you would have probably thought, well, perfect one for Gomez to come back in, but he's stuck with Lovren. And against the team with a bit of pace, like Tottenham have got, I'd have probably thought he'd have gone for that, but he didn't. They put Lovren in there. Tottenham targeted him, but didn't get that much out of him really. He got more out of him than he would have got out of Van Dijk, but that's for every other centre-half in the world. Van Dijk's on a level above everybody else, and I think Lovren's suffering a little bit now because the standard has been set so high. Van Dijk is the best in the world. Matip has been matching him for probably nearly 12 months now, if you look back on it over the course of the end of last season and the start of this. So he's being judged on a very high bar, and he's only just coming back in. He's just finding his feet again. So listen, if he does stay in there, I don't think it's going to be the end of the world, but by the same token, it wouldn't surprise me to see Joe Gomez get in there, form a partnership, and then in 6 weeks' time, the landscape's changed, and you might find Matip struggles to get back in.
Anyway, yeah, so we're running a competition with Liverpool Gin where they're offering you the chance to come to the Liverpool Gin Distillery to create your own gin with us, the Anfield Wrap. Simply click the link in the description in this video below, and all the information is there how to enter. Some of the lads give it a go. Here's a little clip. Some of them really got into it. Other gins weren't so great. Here it is.
Neil Atkinson and Craig Hannon outside the Liverpool Gin Distillery, and we're going to go in a minute. Ben and John are knocking around somewhere. We're going to go in a minute and we're going to make our own gin.
So we've decanted our botanics with the alcohol. Craig made the mistake of sniffing the alcohol. It was
lively.
So now it goes on this concoction. We've got the thing on the top which has got our temperature, and presumably magic's going to happen, and then we're going to end up with our gin in here.
So we're finished now. This is my gin. We're calling it Craig. It's called Craig. And it smells, we've smelled around, and apparently it smells like sweets, it smells like fizzy pop, which is, you know, it smells like a cuddle, Ben said, so I'm happy with that.
So we've got Anton, the master distiller here, who's going to judge which of these is the winner. Now I know the order they're in, Anton doesn't.
It's excellent, there's a lot going on like, but it is excellent, yeah.
There we are.
Smells mad, that. Oh, that's dead nice, that. Yeah. But yeah, this is the winner, defo.
That one's the winner?
That one is the winner, yeah.
You're
that's
actually certain that one's the winner? Not that one's the winner, that one's the winner. That's your first. I've won, so this will be the Anfield Wraps gin. The one that I did the ingredients of is the one that's won. So the ingredients were, just for the record, that you probably shouldn't give your secrets away like Coca-Cola. Nutmeg, cassia, lemongrass, cardamom and lemon peel. And that's the Anfield Wraps gin, along with juniper, coriander seed and angelica root, which is in all of them. So yeah, I'm absolutely made up to have won.
Do you know in Bake Off whenever they cry at the end and you're like, why is he crying? It's just a baking competition. I'm fuming right now.
The master distiller described my drink as excellent. Excellent was the word he used. So although he is just Neil's mate that he's paid, it's still nice to get that excellent comment.
So whose gin do you think was the worst and who was the best?
I like Craig's suspicious gin.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm all about the edginess, mate.
Suspiciously bad.
Well, it might be suspiciously bad, or it might be suspiciously, oh my God, have you done this before, mightn't it? Listen, let's put it this way, I'm not sure I'll be spending a night drinking any of their gins, but you got a chance to make your own, get down there and make a decent one. If it is, let me know. Yeah,
So fantastic, just click the link in the description to enter the competition for the Liverpool Gin Experience. It's going to be a great laugh. Get on board. Right, okay. Back to business. Wednesday night, how are we lining up?
I think...
Harvey Elliott. Let's talk about Harvey Elliott, basically.
If we can play him 11 times, I'll just do that. Do you know what I mean? A kid at that haircut, at that age, you can do what he can do, mate. He's got a far way to go. Nah, I think Alisson definitely he's taken out and Adrian goes back in. I think you probably see that with the FA Cup as well. Adrian's, in my opinion, is in the right to say, okay, well, I get every game. And I'd say up to and including finals in that. I know a lot of teams, like Watford last year, like Heaton Gomez played, didn't he?
Yeah.
When Ben Foster's the main man, and I think Liverpool should probably take that tact with Adrian because he come in and he has the level didn't drop, and he's outperformed everyone's expectations massively, so he deserves that, I think.
But this is so we've started to introduce the question from subscribers, and the actual question was for today's video: how seriously are you taking Wednesday personally?
I wouldn't. If you told me we're going to lose one game in the next month, sound, we'll lose this one, no issues. But I don't see why we have to. Arsenal are in absolute crisis and our kids are fantastic. I think if you think about the team, just name off the top of your head, so you go Adrian, Gomez, Lovren, say Larouci and Milner at the back.
Okay.
And then you go Keita, Lallana, Oxlade-Chamberlain, and a front three then of Brewster, Origi and Harvey Elliott. Or somewhere around...
A mix around
that. I'm not sure what team Arsenal put out. Even if they go strong with the first team, let's put it this way, if we get beat, we're not going to get tonked on it. And I think Arsenal's under a lot of pressure, because if they play the first team and get beat by our kids, Unai Emery is in a world of pain. But if they play the kids, I just don't see their kids beating our kids. So, it's nice to have a game like this where it's in a competition against a big boy. At home, you go and there's relatively little pressure on it, so you get to just sort of enjoy it for once. Because let's face it, league games at the moment...
Well, there's no pressure for Liverpool, there's a lot of pressure on Arsenal.
Yeah, well, and long may that continue, but Arsenal don't strike me as the type of team that deal with pressure very well. Well, they don't deal with pressure very well, they've turned on the captain, haven't they? The manager is pretty much out the door, the fans want him gone. But Arsenal fans, they've been struggling with who they want and what they want. I think the hangover from the fact that Arsene Wenger was there for 20 years is showing. And it's the same with Man United, isn't it? You've got a manager who's created a dynasty, and they go. And
There's a lot to unpick, isn't
well, it's just so difficult to just. There can't be any continuity because it's a different age from when they started. But also, it's such a gamble to pick the right man. And Unai Emery was like hot property when they got him, and I think everyone thought it was going to be okay. It's just not working out for him.
But it leads to a larger question, just who else is there? I mean, you look at all the big managers, and we've had this discussion on the show last week, but, you know, who is there? Who did they go for? I mean, you look at funny enough, you look at the job that Brendan Rodgers is doing at Leicester, and he was reportedly on the shortlist. And this time last year, you would have laughed at Rodgers getting the Arsenal job, but now...
I'd say Rodgers is a shout. I think Rodgers is... Well, he would be the obvious one for me. It's mad that people have let him go to China, because for a team like Arsenal, if you want to just cement top four, you might not be going for leagues with them in the next couple of years or whatever, but if you want to cement top four with the budget that they've got, and for someone to come in and basically guarantee that Benitez is there, he's not going to cost you a fortune, and the fans are going to have no problem taking him on board, are they? He might not be the most Hollywood style of choice, but he'd do the job for you. Or if you want to go for a project, then Rodgers is probably the one. Would Rodgers leave Leicester for Arsenal now? I don't think there's a chance of that.
Talking about Rafa, and harking back to the past, Fernando Torres. See what I've done there?
That was a very good segue, mate.
There you go, mate. Torres has been talking about Liverpool. The Liverpool legends have announced a game against Barcelona legends. Torres gave a little interview about Liverpool. He said he's just really happy to come on back. He's really happy about the club's doing at the minute, and that he's a massive Liverpool supporter wherever he is in the world. And now he's back in Spain, obviously. But it's nice that he's relaxed and talking about Liverpool again, because I remember the game a couple of years ago when he wasn't quite sure what the reception would be, even to the point where he would only come on with Suarez.
Yeah, he come on with Suarez, so he didn't get booed, didn't he? Listen, I think times a great healer. A couple of years ago when he come back, I was very much of the opinion what he'd done to us was unforgivable. I haven't mellowed out that much, if I'm totally honest about it, but then you read things like Sy Hughes' book when he talks about it, and I suppose it's easy for us to say that you should never leave Liverpool and blah blah, because we're invested for life. He was a footballer and he'd probably gone past the peak of his powers then, but thought he could recover it. And imagine having to go to work every day and deal with Roy Hodgson, and obviously them fighting at the club.
It was so toxic at the time as well.
It was terrible. Absolutely. It was a terrible place to be a fan, so never mind to be a footballer who'd been 18 months previously the best in the world, and he was getting dragged down by injuries. It's probably little wonder he wants to leave. The way that he did it and who he went to will always sour it for me, because at the time I was in love with him, but that happened and then your opinion changes. But listen, he come back in these Legends games now, and who cares, basically. I'm past the point of caring, and plus we've got the best front three in the world at the moment, we've got the best manager, the best goalie, so it's nice to have these things where you can just say, well, I'm not interested anymore, because we're actually good at the footy now, not just harking back.
That's it, funny. As mentioned earlier, we're answering your question, so make sure you leave a question for tomorrow in the comments below. I think that's kind of it for today. A couple more things. Download our app. It's free, and you get 250 tokens when you sign up, which you can use to listen to premium shows with me and Kev, because you know you want to.
The good gear.
The videos, the audio, but mainly just, you know, me and Kev. You can get that in on the Android App Store and the iOS App Store. Just one final thing. Obviously, the show's out today. Coach Joel Matip this morning. Loads more content coming through. Also, Second Look, we recorded, that came out last night. Really good. Here's a little clip. Up the Reds.
The relentlessness, John, 20 minutes, the first 20, they don't create a great deal, and then there's 20 to 30, 20 to 35, and there was something on Football 365 today where they said that Liverpool, between the 25th and 31st minute, had 94% possession, a 90% pass completion rate, had the shots that we saw, and Tottenham only completed one pass in 360 seconds. I've never known anything as relentless, to be honest with you, at Anfield. It was one of the most relentless passages of play I've ever seen at a football match. Yeah. And almost fair play to them in a sense, Tottenham, for hanging on for dear life through it. But Liverpool, I've never, ever seen dominance like it for 6 minutes.
Yeah, the possession stats that we're knocking up at the moment are unreal, and I know that only tells kind of one story, if you like, but it used to be, if you had 60% of possession, you were doing well. Now we're doing like 70s, 80s against really good teams away from home at Old Trafford and stuff like that as well. They're just dominating the ball, they're dominating the game. We're playing it at our tempo, we're playing it how we want it, and that's what I really enjoyed about yesterday. Obviously you're never completely happy when you're 1-0 down, and they had a small chance on the break, like you saw with the Sun thing, that just sort of comes out of nowhere. Really, it's a big fun from the keeper, isn't it? Which is maybe a bit of a worry. But I think generally speaking, I think Liverpool are just playing games on their terms at the moment, and that's really, really hard to compete against, because as we've seen, not just at the weekend, but generally with this team, like eventually they'll find a way to score.